And here we be.
Blog Talk Radio.
All right, we are here. We are here. Somebody is here. Okay, welcome aboard Half Past Dead, Paranormal and Strange.
Okay, stand by. Okay, it just said coming on 29 minutes live, and now I got some sort of bleeding advertisement. Anybody else?
I'm not seeing anything, but...
Okay, title is Half Past Dead Paranormal. Call in and speak with the host. There we are.
Right. 3828-253. Who we got?
Okay, there is a 15 to 30 second delay.
Okay. Somebody's here now. I'm not sure who. They're here, but they're not speaking.
See, like last week, we had chat.
Right. Okay.
Hey, do we have anybody else listening to us?
There's somebody here, 253-970-3828. They're here, but they're not saying anything.
Me? No, 3828.
Oh, so that's you then. Okay.
No, that's not me.
People knowing their phone numbers.
There we go.
I do got people that stalk my kids. All right. If you want me to speak, I'm here. What numbers? It's broadcasting live. So you're good. You're good.
Good deal. Great. Okay. More people coming in now. 403-1404.
Okay.
Okay. Welcome aboard, everybody.
Rick?
Is he not here yet?
I hear everybody. But when everybody talks at once, I have a hard time making out who's talking. So I don't. If you want to, guys, have taken questions, if people want to call in and ask questions, that's cool. Or I can give them at least information that they can put to use as far as cryptozoology goes and parapsychology and all those other paranormal things we work with.
Welcome aboard, Rick. The floor is yours, my friend. Do what you feel there.
Well, like I said, if anybody wants to call in with their questions, I didn't have time in the first episode to take questions. I mean, I took Mishka's question, which she had a really good question, or a couple good questions, I should say. So if anybody really wants to, go all out and call in, now's your chance to ask me. If you ever wanted to ask me about the world of the unknown, I years. This is before all these groups form from show, and some want to do it as a hobby, and that's fine. It is a hobby. There's wrong with being consumed with something that keeps you busy and that's good for you. In some cases, in my case, the paranormal is not good for me. It's something that is always ongoing in my life. It's not a hobby for me. I mean, it's a 24-hour thing, and it's always going to be that way. And, I'll never sell out my listeners or my fans or my friends. I was on paranormal TV hunting monsters or whatever in the desert. Well, they weren't hunting monsters in the desert. They were parked in a 100-foot area pretending like they were hunting monsters. Me, I was on contract, really, so I took off and I roamed the mountains of the desert and ran into one of these hellhounds. The same thing they were looking for, but the only reason why I found it is because I decided to go in no man's land, because I was in some deep canyon with like 50-foot walls on both sides. I was like, am I ever going to get out of this thing? And it was storming, too. And so during that time period, water comes flowing in these canyons. They get flash floods where the waves like 20, 30 feet. It's like, yeah, that would be fine if I had a surfboard, but I don't have a surfboard. So if I get swept in the canyon, I'm going to drown. But I had a hellhound experience up there, and they're sitting there faking hellhounds. They're bringing in German Shepherds and keep a little snack in the hand. German Shepherd runs to them, and then you got Jag Osborne holding the camera saying, "Oh, holy shit, acting all scared." It's like, please, man, I just got done 6 hours in the middle of the desert hiking. And everybody thinks that the desert is just this flat, sandy area. People don't understand how deserts are here in the Wild West. The deserts, there's high deserts. So there's like a mountain range that runs parallel with the Sierras, and that mountain range has forest all throughout it. The pine nuts the early Washoe used to gather, and of course they're aware in this area of the strange lights in the sky, a lot of strange lights in the sky. And I don't really pay much mind. I look a lot towards the skies, but I don't always sit there and just UFO watch 24/7. But we had a wave of UFOs hit an area which really grabbed my interest. I just moved, but back at my old place, I lived nestled between the Sierras, the Carson foothills, which are the foothills to the Carson Pass, and then the Pine Nut Mountains. So I was in there pretty good, and the hills continue to have strange things. The mountains, the hills, everything around there. I started getting in a lot of UFO reports, but I got in anonymous ones because people are very scared of the government, the men in black, and people coming after me. I'm a little different. I'm like you. The men in black can show up, and I'm probably going to laugh at them. I am. I'm going to say, "You want to get stoned?" Because I'm telling you right now, these people that give into the fear are the ones who lose. We can't just go hiding information. We're a public paranormal research organization, so all our work gets shown, the good, the bad, the paranormal. And so these UFOs, which of course have been associated with Bigfoot, which makes sense of why they're over some of the most remote parts of this, because they're dropping off, picking up, and sending these creatures to scout or survey the land, and there's only a couple of them, so who's going to see them? But we get Bigfoot reports in this area, and I had a guy write me who wants to join the team. He set up for an interview next week. I'm going to interview him. He's a paranormal group, but they always focus on Bigfoot, and he said a few weeks ago he was walking up in the Sierras, or the edge of the Sierras, probably an area like before, and he inched up on water sleeping, and then he said he realized that it was very large Sasquatch with brown shirt, and he said you could just breathe in and out, and he's like, he says, "I want to take you to the spot." He goes, "I know they're back there." We're always getting new Bigfoot prospects, but when I see something, I chase it too. I see a UFO, I chase it. I see a ghost, I chase it. You'll never see me be a coward or run away. And we had somebody join a group a week ago told me I was a coward. It's like, I don't think so. Let me take you 11,000 feet up and 8 feet where there's avalanches all we'll talk. We'll talk, seriously. But these creatures and these Bigfoot sometimes chase down, not hunt them, but you really got to be aware that they're here. And so a lot of our work in the Lake Tahoe region deals with the UFOs, Bigfoot. It's the Sierra Triangle. So there are missing planes and strange disappearances and vanishings and all these little things live. In my backyard is like the Cardinals, which are basically a hide to an elk forest. And right before I moved, I did 2 expeditions there, and then I did a UFO investigation prior to that. Because some of the UFOs that I was filming were over those hills. And I went back there, I wanted to see what is back here that these UFOs want. And you find mutilations back there. I found mutilations. found a huge, like 2-mile-long lake, an old Indian dam, and there was obviously cattle running free because there was cow pies everywhere. I mean, you know, it was very offbeat, and I did this expedition on my mountain bike, because we do mountain biking expeditions, and see, that's what makes our paranormal group different. Is we know that nothing gets handed to us. We have to work for what we got, even if that means breaking a couple bones here and there and getting hurt. We go up into the hills, and like last week, Tammy, who's also on the team, when she can be on the team, we'll go to these ghost towns. Like, there's a ghost town here out in the mountains of Nevada, and we found a bunch of den-like thing, like it was made of branches and brush and all hollowed out inside. They look like den that little gorillas, actually big enough for a big gorilla to sit in. It was strange, and I took a picture with her standing next to a mountain lion. I didn't even know it, because that's the whole point. Is as far as finding Sasquatch and all that, it's an elusive creature, and it's like we don't even see these mountain lions that come right up on top and stand on the rocks and look down at you like this is going to be a nice tuna salad or something. I mean, they're out there. When Sue came out with me a couple weeks ago, I'm not sure what she thought it was going to be, because it was funny, because she said to me, I'm all about adventure. I'll go to space, count me in, this and that. And she's, she did come to most of the places with us, but I told her, I said, your most challenging place will be conquering the High Sierras. And when I say conquering, you got to go 11,000 feet. You got to. You got to go into some massive canyon and walk across some creek and experience the waterfalls and hidden caves. And, sometimes we get very close encounters with Bigfoot himself. I don't care if people don't believe me. I don't do this for fame. I don't do this for money. I do it because I love it. See, I live a drama-free life. You won't see me associating with hardly anyone in the paranormal field. It's not even because I think I'm better. It's because of all the drama that's involved in it. And I spend less time with the drama. I spend more time out in Mother Nature. It's like, I don't care who's talking about me online. I'm out in Mother Nature looking for Bigfoot, smoking, camping, hiking, fishing, because our investigative team will mountain bike. We'll fish halfway between an investigation. We'll go hit a pub, go fishing, and then we'll go look for some ghosts. I mean, it's the Wild West. There's ghosts, there's paranormal, there's Bigfoot everywhere. And I know a lot about ghosts because I've been dealing with them my whole life. And I don't find ghosts challenging to get anymore, because I know how to take their picture. I know how to, work with them, talk to them, make the EMF go up. So, Bigfoot's a little more exciting for me. You see a Bigfoot walking through the woods, you follow that thing. You don't run from it, you follow it because you want to know more about it. And, there's a lot of risk that comes with the great rewards. But went into the Carson Hills, looked for UFOs, I found mutilations. I also found that someone was stalking us deep in the hills because I stashed my bikes. I told my kids, I said, let's stash the bikes, let's do some hiking on foot. And we climbed this canyon full of thistle brush and rocks the size of Volkswagens, and we're trying to make our way through the canyon. We come up, I had a GPS, how many GPS live said the lake was 0.3 miles. We had 2 more miles of hiking to go. And you just, you climb down in the mines. They have these mines where it's just open pit mining, or, where they just take the whole side of a mountain away. I can't think of the word, and here I am. I know all kinds of mining. But strip mine, that's what it is. And they're stripping entire mountains that I used to off-road around. So I'm starting to think that maybe the UFOs that are, all these UFO sightings over there, it's maybe they don't like what's being done to the environment. If they're Earth-friendly UFOs. which probably think humanity is going to blow itself up. So, we went over there. I did a UFO investigation, found some really strange things during it, some tracks, and it was a landing. You could see there was a landing that took place up on the hill. But that just sparked my interest to go into the Carson Hills. And in the hills, all the hills is there a bunch of foothills, and they go up right into the Carson Pass, and the Carson Pass is the heart. It's the lifeline of the Sierras. You can cross the Carson Pass and go right on into Sacramento, Stockton, right into the California Valley. And that pass was used by the Indians, and they had found a bunch of, in the 1840s, a bunch of Mormons. They were massacred, and the local natives buried them and gave them grave sites. So we know the Native Americans didn't do it. So coming into this terrain, you know this area, the Sierras, the Carson area, this is Lake Tahoe and all that these Bigfoot creatures were very predominant in the area, and they're being pushed back from the so-called foothills I was roaming. They're being pushed back further into the mountains, and it's not far. You got peaks 2-3 miles away. Those peaks 10,000, 11,000 feet up. They're all volcanic spires filled with 8 feet of snow. And so we tracked on an investigation 5 miles in on snow, walking over a river that's about to crack. And you fall through the ice there, get swept under, die. Just like that. Life's over. It's nice being a paranormal investigator. But you go through that, and when you truck 5 miles and 8 feet of snow, and you actually do it up, and you live the high Sierras, no elevation sickness, you can do it in a matter of you feel like you're Superman, You'll go 5 miles, and you're there an hour later. You're like, there must have been a smoke break between. Must have been. But we find our stuff because we work hard. It's these TV shows, the fame, the fortune, the limelight, that's all they're after. Because the first time somebody might be really good in the paranormal, and a TV network like Sci-Fi will bring them on and tell them, this is the way it goes. You don't you don't go along with us faking the footage. That means no ratings, no second season. And they get taken by greed, because they're like, really? You're going to pay me $1,500 an episode, and if it goes to season 2, you're going to pay me $2,500 an episode? And they don't even walk. They don't even walk on any of these TV shows. 100 I'm trying it and taking up in the high Sierras, even in the snow, man, in 8 feet of snow, because that's what you got to do. You have to look for the Bigfoot. You have to be the Bigfoot, because if you're not going to be a Bigfoot, they're never going to come out for you. They come out for me. I also piss them off sometimes. Sometimes I get rocks and shit thrown at me. I'm okay with saying that. We're in its territory. Just like that rabbit that got caught. It was crossing the road and it got smashed. It's our fault. We built the roads in the Mother Nature. And this is Bigfoot country out here on the West Coast. Lake Tahoe, 100 miles north of Tahoe, 100 miles south of Tahoe. You have multiple national forests, cliffs, canyons, places where planes go down and are never found. And I go into the Sierra Triangle all the time. Even though I know people vanish and die and all these things, I still keep going into the Sierra Triangle. It's like going in the Bermuda Triangle every day. It's like, hey, I'm going to go to Bermuda today. I know that I won't ever disappear. There's triangles all over Earth, but there's one here where I live. And those hills are in the heart of it, really. And it's strange when you come across a carcass that looks like it's been mutilated, just the head. It's like, where's the rest of the bones and body? What about the spine attached to it? You see things like that, and you get fouled out there, and I guess, sometimes I see things that I'm really not supposed to be seeing. You know what I mean? But that's part of being a paranormal investigator. It's to go beyond the norm of any other man. And people should, and they should. I mean, but I see a lot of people in my paranormal community. I should be allowed to oust them. I should. I mean, if I see somebody who's fake and bullying other groups and women and people, I should be able to oust them, because my career is a very long-standing one in the paranormal. And that's why a lot of people, you know, they don't want to have me on as a guest on their show, because I tell it like the way it is. They want it being told in another light. And it's like, I'm not going to sell it my friends, my fans, just because TV's $1,000 in front of my face. I'd be like, you know what? This you call an adventure, me standing around 100 feet pretending like I'm hiking off into the wilderness? I don't think so. I'll just hike off in the wilderness. See you in 12 hours. Bye. Just like that. And I have peace and quiet, and I don't deal with drama, television shows, dropping line, because I'm always doing my work. Nobody could say, hey, he's not doing his work. I spent 2 hours last night listening to EVPs from Folsom Lake. And Folsom Lake's also in the mountains. It's in the lower Sierras, which is still mountainous. It's drying up. Gold Rush ghost towns are being exposed. People, treasure hunters, are robbing from the town sites. They're going there with metal detectors. It's against the law. You can't do it. It's supposed to be preserved. And so I was listening to EVPs about the investigation last night, and I heard Faye. She's our moderator for Google+. Actually, we have 15 to 20 moderators, but we only hear from 2 of them, you know. I mean, it's just stupid stuff like that. People aren't thinking. It's like at least you know I've been around aliens and UFOs and Bigfoot and these things. I'm the person you talk to. So, you know, Faye helped out. She was staff. She lives in Sacramento. Big deal. I drive to Sacramento, a couple hours away. I go to California all the time. California is the bomb. You go to California, you go to the old saloons and hit the pubs and the mountains and, you know, go hiking looking for Bigfoot. Everybody has fun. We hike for 10 miles and see waterfalls 1,000 feet tall. I mean, it's nice. But we always find something because we dig deep and we work hard. You know, and when I'm out in the wilderness, you know, let them people talk bad about me, but I'm sitting on some cliff with my backpack and I got myself a 6-pack in my bag. I don't care. No drama. Just Mother Nature and me. It's about the purest you're ever going to get. And so, you know, I welcome people to join me on my journeys, but I also am here to kind of answer questions because, you know, I've been around a long time and I've seen the paranormal community change. Nowadays, people are always talking about television. I get sick of hearing it. I don't care. There are some good UFO documentaries because they do post government documents, leaked documents. You can't deny seeing those. I mean, that makes it real. But this cheesy acting and these people who think 100 speckles of brown dust is orbs, that mentality and that way of thinking is going to have to change, or there's not going to be a paranormal community, because I will separate myself from the whole world. I don't care. And I will just keep chasing the unknown. Even if I don't have a website, I'll chase it and nobody will know what happened. But I want my work to be available publicly. I just letting people know we don't sell our friends out. We are, as much as we're here to learn, but we're also here to teach. And the only way you get experience is going out in the field. So I do a lot of field work. I've suffered. I almost spent 40 hours one night on a mountain doing field work. We hiked till sundown, slept on our backpacks, took our backpacks, made it into a pillow, didn't have no blankets, was wearing summer clothes. It got down to 30 that night, froze up on the mountain. You get up 6, 7 in the morning and just start climbing again all day long till the next morning. I mean, that's really what investigating is about. And you don't become good in the field if you don't do mass amounts of investigations, because not every place is haunted, even though some paranormal groups will tell you they are. You got to go with science, debunk things when it's necessary, and take it as professional but scientific approach to the evidence that you find. And that's what we do. We go out and we find evidence, but we preserve and fix cemeteries. We cover the history of every place. We share our reports, our information, everything. Too. I used to not do videos. Last few years, I do nothing but videos because people get to see it with their eyes live. And I use an HD cam for all my videos now because it's just, we want people to be a part of the journey. And when I come close to Bigfoot, I want people to know, yeah, I risked myself to do this. I was probably out there freezing in the rain to look for this thing. Or, I'm a tracker, so I can almost track anything. If you're Bigfoot, you're not going to hide from me. There's just no way. I know the woods as good as he knows the woods, even better. So I know a lot about the creature. I mean, based on when we did these investigations, I've been working on Bigfoot on the East Coast too, but we took it 10 times higher here along the Sierra Nevadas. And there are reports that come in. If you look at a Bigfoot sighting map, this area is pink for 100 miles. There's so many dots that it covers the entire eastern half of California, that goes along Nevada, all pink, all dots, because there's always Bigfoot up here, always. And other people are writing me, multiple people are writing me. This is this week alone of where I can find this thing. So it's out there. And that's our work. That's our work that we do. We go out there. We climb mountains. We climb peaks. We climb cliffs. Squeeze in holes and caves if we find them. But we also deal with bear. We there's dangers. Anyways, yeah, I'll take questions right now if anybody has them, because I could talk about the unknown forever. Let's face it. So. If you got them, and ask them.
Rick?
Yeah.
And that's quite evident, partner. You are a true paranormal investigator. As if anybody might be wondering, basically, how would one go about it? Now, let me explain why I'm asking. I've got to do surgery on my knees. I can't do the climbing like I used to when I lived in Colorado. Not in the fact that my asthma is not conducive for high altitudes. So what I'm asking is basically, how would someone else get started with finding Sashi?
Well,
Foot.
I guess that would be up to the person, because even the and at the staff's highest in the air, so many other places out there in Mike, they're flat, easier to that have visible Bigfoot. Tennessee's, altitudes. I have, and I've been known gardening, so in climbing the mountains, say that you gas from oxygen, and it may not be good for someone who's asking. It doesn't mean you can't be a physical investigator, because there is so much paranormal out there for the taking. I can't cover the Midwest where they have Bigfoot. I can't cover the East Coast because I don't live there. Sometimes our members will send money and be like, we want you to do this place. And I'll be like, okay, I'll do it. I'll stay overnight 3 nights there and do it. but the only way you become good and become serious is by doing it over and over, and also learning from your mistakes, because all paranormal investigators make is mistakes. They all do. I do. You might take a photo and think it's something, and later you look at it again, you're like, I'm not so sure anymore, you know? I mean, when we started, we used to take pics of orbs, and I learned about them more and more, and I don't share any of those anymore, unless they got like an odd face or something inside that's like, whoa, that's kind of weird. But,
well,
you know, you learn as you go. You learn as you go.
Now, out here where I'm at, now I'm here in the Pacific Northwest, and we have the Cascades, and we are still having reports of Bigfoot out here, and they're not as, you know, the Cascades aren't quite as high as your 11,000. They're in the Sierra Nevadas. So just basically follow the high country is what you're saying.
You could. I want to do Cascades. See, they go through portion Idaho, and Idaho is just north of me. And I wanted to go camping there and stuff, but they have valley trails. Like, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but in the Sierras, they have these massive valleys, and they're flat. But those valleys have little creeks and mud, and they're good areas to look for Sasquatch. At least it's much lower altitude, too. You know, you may have mountains in the background, but those valleys exist everywhere in the cave. Got a few like that. And those are good places because he's got to come down the drink, come down the hunt, especially do you think if it's a meat, it might eat bear, steal people's trash. Who knows? Maybe it's a messenger, like a raccoon. But I mean, the thing is, it's people all across the world if they're willing to try their best. It's important to give up. I gave up a couple weeks ago. It was having to hike through 8 feet of snow. Some parts were hard, other parts went up to my waist. So 2 of my toes froze. I thought I had frostbite because I couldn't feel either of them. It took like 3 hours for it to defrost, I swear. But you have to decide, does the risk outweigh the rewards? Or is the reward so important that it needs to be addressed? And, of course, that reward is, finding Bigfoot, a downed UFO, alien bodies, ghost, some other unexplained entity. I mean, there's a lot of different paranormal things out there. A lot.
We're probably going to be getting cut off here soon, so any more questions? Anybody want to ask questions, you better do it now.
Yeah, people should really call in because, I can tell you about my journeys, but if you ask questions from me, the sole purpose is to inspire and to be able to teach others, about the world that we live in. Because this group here, we cover, we cover history and nature, and we're more than just a paranormal group. But the paranormal is the most major topic here.
Being paranormal investigators, truthfully, our job is to educate and help others. We're not, I've seen too many times where these shows are you serious? You really expect us to believe that? I'm even beginning to doubt the GAC boys from time to time.
Yeah. I know that those productions are fake. I have inside people, and I was part of one, so I don't do it anymore. I don't. And I'm like, I really don't think I'll be on your show unless you can prove it's real.
I don't believe
I hear you.
Yeah.
I really don't believe in the TV shows. I think that, the networks are going to enforce their power of will or whatever, and they're going to do what they want them to do because of the almighty dollar, So it kind of puts a damper on my faith in any of them, just the way it is.
We've had at least 5 offers for my team to do some sort of televised show, and me and my co-founders basically email them back, "Are you kidding? Are you for real? Seriously? No, thank you." Because we know the price that we're going to have to pay is not being true to what we do.
Your dignity is as a paranormal investigator is just as, to me, is just as important as the evidence that you get. If you sell out to the network, you're selling out your dignity is what you're doing.
Exactly.
Well, I think reputability and dignity is more important. That people want to buy my stuff. They want to buy my ghost video, and then they want to give it to like Ghost Adventures to use and pretend to be theirs. It's like, I don't like that, because I work hard to get what I get. My body is in a medical nightmare. My body is a wreck. I'm still doing it up, even if I hobble through the mountains or I could be climbing cliffs, and I don't care. I'd rather do that than be controlled to say. You're on a film production, and you're in a haunted house. They're going to tell you, now you act scared. Now you react. Now you pretend like that's a ghost. And it's ridiculous.
It's all
Celebrities on paranormal TV, come on. Even non-celebrities, It's acting.
How about
acting
run?
What was that, Roger?
On the Ghost Hunters episode, I don't know if y'all saw the one or not, where back when the young guy Brian was on there.
Yeah.
And he did the run, dude, run.
Man, I don't run in the face of darkness. If I see aliens and grays walking around, I'm going to walk up to them. I will. I will. I will. I will walk up to them. It doesn't bother me.
Admittedly, I will get startled, but I will be right back at the, okay, you got me. Okay, now, you come talk to me.
Exactly.
Yeah. A paranormal investigator is supposed to be that way, but in today's times, a bad breed is coming out, and that breed thinks that they don't have to work for any of this, and it's like, you're never going to see Bigfoot like I did. I seen him because I went on a no-name peak. And we have to take that mentality in the paranormal field. It's, balls in, all of it, because if you run from it, because we get people who join our team and they last half an investigation. They get scared, they run, paranoid, thinking they're going to die, because they're at 11,000 feet up. And it's like, I do this millions and millions of times. I trust my kids on most of my investigations, and they've learned from me. They can outdo an adult every single time. They've learned from the best, and I've taught them everything. Because as we get all old, we all slow down, but it doesn't mean that we can't take that knowledge and pass it on to others to use in life and to use in the paranormal field itself. So it's, we make a positive impact, and I definitely should, considering I got a disease in both my knees and bulging disc and a broken neck and a screwed up neck and all these other things. But I'm still out there,
I admire the fact that you can do that, because I can't do it. I wish I could. If I could, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Because I love, I love the investigation. I love the, finding stuff that people say you can't find. And
right.
I can't walk that good much for very long, much less climb. So that puts me out of that department. But I mean, I still investigate level ground and, you know, houses and whatnot, but I can't climb the hills. And
I hear you, Roger.
so, you know, unless Bigfoot wants to come down here on level ground and wave at me, you know, chances are I'm not going to see him, but, you know, I would love to.
You know, I would love to meet more people out there, but honestly, I scare people away. I do. I'm very honest. There's a lot of radio shows who are banning to have me on. They don't want me, apparently, to tell people UFO disclosure or about some of the things I know that they don't know. I've snuck on military bases and stuff. I have. I've broken the law quite a few times, but I have a story to tell. And you know, the thing is that people, you know, we had 6 people write to join our team, and all 6 said, I want to do this, this, and that. Now they're having second thoughts, you know. People need to get more involved in the paranormal. But the paranormal, I mean, where it's at is you live in Tennessee. There's Bigfoot up in Tennessee, you know. I mean, there are parts of the world that have wonderful paranormal activity. And I just happen to live in one hot spot. That's just one hot spot. There's one out in Tennessee. There's one in Georgia. There's one in New York. I mean, I've traveled around the country looking for the paranormal. You know, it's there for the taking. It's just there's a lot of people. I mean, like every week I get bothered by tons of drama, and I always just laugh at it. I'm like, well, at least I could say one thing. I eat good food. I smoke good green. I spend a lot of time in nature. I spend a lot of time with my kids, and I'm married to my paranormal degree, so you know I'm always working at 40, 50, 60 hours a week. Either I'm helping somebody, running my site, working on adding cases to our site, which takes, by the way, a long time. That last update took me 3 weeks to do to get on my site. It was very tedious. Yeah, just tedious work. And last night I spent 2 hours going through pictures that I took at Folsom Lake. And then I had 2 hours of EVPs I listened to, and it's like it's still not done. I still got to get it ready to go on the site so people can look at it, learn, and hopefully try to preserve the place before all the treasure hunters take everything from it. Because that's all they're doing. They're going to Folsom Lake. They're just going to these ghost town sites because the water's down, and they're just digging up all kinds of artifacts for themselves to get rich, probably sell on eBay. So it pisses me off. So our message is more than just about the paranormal. It's about preservation. And for those that are listening, I do have a website because there's some people who just are first-time listeners or don't know me, and that's
www.paranormal.society. This is Lord Ray.